What up, Talkin fight fans? Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of the Friday Night Panel. Usually I've got a whole bunch of people here with me, but tonight it looks like I'm going solo for a few minutes. Hopefully I get joined by some of my colleagues so that we can talk to you about this big fight weekend that's going on. Let's get underway with the fights that are happening this weekend. Definitely some big ones going on. I want to touch base on this excellent fight that's going on tonight. This one starts late, guys. Son of Legends. Morrison versus Rockman Jr. for the WBC US NBC heavyweight title. This one is great, man. Son of Legends champion boxing set for draft weekend debut at Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. On Friday, April 29th, main fight, the WBC US NBC heavyweight title. This one's going to be great, man. Kenzie TCB Morrison against Hasim Gold-Blooded Rockman Jr., the son of former world heavyweight champion Tommy the Duke Morrison and Hasim Rockman. Fight fans can rejoice over one of the most unique live boxing championship cards to date with the announcement of Son of Legends, featuring an unparalleled lineup of the sons of legendary boxers duking it out during draft weekend, starting at 7 p.m. at the theater inside Virgin Hotels Las Vegas this tonight. It's going to be great, guys. This one's going to be pretty awesome, man. If you guys don't know who these guys are, man, for the first time in boxing history, the sons of several former boxing champions will face off in the ring, presented by Roy Jones Jr. Promotions in association with Ayers Entertainment. The 10-round main event for the WBC Heavyweight Championship against Morrison, who is 19-0-2 with 17 KOs, son of legendary two-time world heavyweight champion Tommy the Duke Morrison. You guys might know him from Rocky. Tommy Gunn. He will take on Hasim Gold-Blooded Rockman Jr., who's 12-0 with 6 KOs, son of famed two-time world heavyweight champion Hasim Rockman, who knocked out Lennox Lewis. In one of the other most anticipated fights on this card, the co-main event features two highly suited prospects laying their futures on the line as Keith Hunter, who's 14-1 with 9 KOs, son of legendary heavyweight and cruiserweight contender Mike the Bounty Hunter, takes on the undefeated Chucky YNG Pressure Driver, who's 12-0 with 7 KOs, in a battle to take a step towards title contention. Additional Sons of Legend showcase on this fight card: Robert Duran Jr., who's 9-1 with 7 KOs, the son of legendary 4-division world champion Manos Di Piedra, Roberto Duran, and Sharif Rockman, who 5-0 with 3 KOs, the other son of Hasim Rockman. Gerald McKellen Jr., who's 1-0 with 1 KO, son of former world middleweight champion Gerald the G-Man McKellen, also making his debut. Amateur standout Steve Cunningham Jr., son of former world cruiserweight champion Steve USS Cunningham, on the card. So, guys, this one's gearing up to be quite the event, man. So you're gonna want to tune into this one for sure. I'm checking it out. Definitely going to be watching this one. It's gonna be fun for sure. Next one that I wanted to talk about, guys, and get underway is got to be the Vargas and Leah Smith, which this one is I can't wait to see this one. I'm kind of excited for this, guys. Jesse Vargas and Liam Smith collide in a must-win super welterweight clash at Madison Square Garden in New York tomorrow. Leading the undercard for the historic clash that's getting underway, man, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, which is brought to you by Matchroom Boxing and Most Valuable Promotions. Vargas, who's 29-3-2 with 11 KOs, returns to the ring for the first time since his narrow reversal at the hands of Mikey Garcia in Texas in February 2020. The former two-weight world champion is hungry to become a three-time ruler, and the 32-year-old is training for the Smith clash while running his political campaign to represent Nevada's 4th congressional district. So it looks like he's got a lot on his plate, man. This one's gonna be a great one, man. And then we got Smith, man, who's 33-1 with 17 KOs, will defend the WBA international strap he won in his last outing, where he stopped local rival Anthony Fowler in 8 rounds in October at the MNS Arena in Liverpool, bouncing back in style from a slender loss in Russia to Magomed Kurbanov in May. The 33-year-old held the WBO world title in 2015 to 2016 and now sits at number 4 in the WBA rankings and eyeing two-time world champion status. Vargas and Smith were due to meet this weekend in Phoenix, but COVID ruled the former out of the clash and Saturday's bill will now be topped with Carlos Cudres and Jesse Rodriguez battling for the vacant WBC World Super Featherweight title. Vargas and Smith will come to the Big Apple, all guns blazing, and both men believe they will end the career of the other tomorrow. So this one's going to be great, man. I'm super excited to see this one. If you guys, you remember their last fights, man, both were pretty epic. So these guys are both getting underway. Definitely want to see. And come on, we're talking about Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, historical fight on the same card, man. This is a big one, guys. If you don't watch this one, you're not into boxing, man, because this is historic. You got to see this, man. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano finally getting underway. Also on this card, guys, Austin Williams is taking on Cordell Booker for the vacant WBA Continental Americas title, the middleweight division. And then we got Frenchin Cruz Dezurin is taking on Ellen Cedros. And this one's a big one. This is for the WBC, WBA, the IBF, and the WBO World Female Super Middle titles. This is an undisputed match. This one is going to be great. This card is stacked, guys. So make sure you drop what you're doing and watch this card. We also got Yalal Yafi back in action against Miguel Cartanega for the WBC International Fly title. And who we just were talking about, we had him on the show. We interviewed him. Rashad Mati, 11-0 super lightweight, is taking on Joe Eli Hernandez on this card as well. And also Sky Nicholson, who's 2-0. Talked about her. Love watching this girl box. She's back in action against Paisley Davis, who's 3-1-0. This one's turning out to be a great card, guys. You're not going to want to miss this one. Definitely a good time. I'm being joined by one of my friends from one of the other shows, Miss Sugar, Miss Too Bad Brown is going to join us right now. I'm going to bring her right in so we can get right into this and talk about it. Miss Sugar.
Hey, Mike.
We're live already. We're live already. I've been talking for 7 minutes already. Yeah, you know how it is, man. You got to do all this work so they don't have to. You know what it is. I'm just touching base right now on the Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, and I know that you got your ear to the ground when it comes to women's boxing. That's what your show is all about. So what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, they're talking about this being the mega fight, and it's a big fight. And I think the allure of this fight, I mean, it's a great match.
Definitely.
But the allure of this fight is that it's just it's a history-making match, meaning it is the first female headliner to be to be hosted at Madison Square Garden.
Yes, and I was just telling all the fans out there that are watching that this is not the only female battle on this card that's that we got to look out for.
No, which I really
because we have somebody that you touched on, Frenchin Cruz Dezurin, is taking on Ellen Cedros, and that one's for all the straps as well, man. The WBA, the IBF, and the WBO. So we got two undisputed championship matches for the women this weekend, tomorrow night.
I like it.
I love it.
I like it. But I do, I always gotta kind of rain on the parade a little.
Of course.
Okay. So yes, we have two matches for all the belts. Okay. Yeah. Yes, the Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. I do want to get into the details of that match a little bit, but we talk about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a pretty decent matchup, and it's in that one, it's the boxer versus the two boxers, right?
Yeah.
One is a runner.
Yeah.
And one is a boxer that fights sometimes.
Yes.
Right. So then we figure that out. We figure out, like I said, styles make fights. So we figure out
Of course you do.
What style may come through on top, because in fighting, it's really not at this point, or even with this matchup, it's not about who's better. It's who had the better night.
Yeah, that's it, man. It's who's bringing their A game.
Yeah,
That's what
right.
it's about. Who's
And
bringing the A game?
yeah, so the thing that is the conversation piece there with Franchon Cruz now.
Yeah,
Um, I as a fighter, I do I like Franchon Cruz because Franchon Cruz is she's raw.
yeah,
She's raw. Even though she has great amateur background, her style is still very raw.
yeah,
And so I in this matchup now with Ellen Serreros,
yeah,
um Serreros has actually fought uh, a notable I would a notable fight that I know of hers is her versus Alicia Napoleon.
yeah,
Okay. And
yeah.
Alicia,
That was her
yeah,
last fight.
Alicia Napoleon is a New York girl. She she came in on the scene. I think she's out on maternity leave right now. I think she just had a baby a couple months ago.
Oh wow.
But that matchup there, Ellen, she's from Sweden, so she's a big European girl, and so she doesn't have as much finesse in the ring, but what she does have is she has physical size, and she can, because she has that physical size, and she has very she her skill she has skill. The skill is basic, though, not basic in not really throwing shade, but she basic, right? So she
Yeah.
has that basic skill, and she has that durability that will present a problem for a fighter like Franchon, because Franchon now is just a raw fighter.
Right.
And when you throw the kitchen sink, the tub, you know, all, to sneak everything at somebody and they're still standing there,
Yeah.
what you got left,
Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it.
right?
You have
And
left when you
so,
use everything. That's right.
yeah, and so that's the type of fighter Franchon is, right? So I am curious to see, because I know she going to throw all Franchon does not have knockout power,
No,
right?
no.
She doesn't have knockout power, but and I don't know of her to have dropped anyone she has fought. She's hurt them, but she ain't dropping nobody.
No,
Okay.
no.
Um,
She's only sporting a 7-1 record with 2 knockouts. The only people she's dropped in her career, she had a TKO against Letitia Burton. That was back 2017, March 25th, and that was a TKO in the first round. And then Kayla Williams, which was June 20th, 2019, and that was a KO in the fifth.
Okay, so a
Those are the
KO in
only
the fifth. All right, so someone stuck around and she wore him down. That
yeah,
KO in the first, I have to say, the what's happening with female boxing is they have perfected the art of bringing in the body bags.
yeah,
Okay, so that first round. That opposition, no disrespect, never disrespecting anyone that gets in there,
right.
because it takes a lot to get in there, but the quality now of opposition, right? If you're getting if you're getting swept in the first round, that means that means the quality of that opposition isn't really the standard
Right.
of where you can say, that was a test. But now she was in there with someone who must have gave her problems for 5 rounds,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then she eventually now TKO'd,
Yeah.
not
TKO.
KO,
Not KO.
TKO'd. So it may have been that the girl just ran out of gas
Yeah.
in
That,
that fifth round.
that's a possibility. Well, and she's taking on Ellen Cedros, who is
So
eight
yeah,
eight
Ellen.
with four knockouts. Like she's got a bit
So
of
that's what I was going to.
right.
Serreros, she's actually she dropped Napoleon. Now she dropped Napoleon in the second round, and and Napoleon's fresh in that second round, and Napoleon is a tough girl. That's why I'm not a computer. Okay.
Right. Right.
What I am though is I'm a person, I'm a fighter, and I love fights.
Yeah.
So the things that stand out to me are the things are the real happenings in a fight where
Right.
Napoleon is a real she is real opposition. She's a real
Definitely.
fighter.
Definitely.
She has fought real opposition in Tori Nelson. Okay.
Yeah.
And Tori ain't drop her, so um Ellen got pop,
You know,
and that's what.
she's also fought Hannah Rankin. Fermi Hermans.
Okay,
You know,
okay,
she's been in there with some people. So
right. She has been in there with some people, but let's not take away that these people. Why are these people?
yeah,
Answer me this question. Why are these people?
they're not. They're not really. They're not. They're blemishes on they're blemishes on some and not blemishes on the other. That's what.
Now that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
these people became people because
Yeah.
they fought who? Clarissa.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only reason why they're people.
Yeah.
They're all fighters,
Yes.
okay, and they're all a problem, okay. But the truth, to me, the truth of it all, right, with these people, is if somebody booty touched the ground, and she
That's right.
made some booties touch the ground.
Yeah.
I
That's
know I remember Napoleon, because
yeah.
like I said, Napoleon was a standout for a little bit until she took some time off to become a mommy.
Yeah.
So she dropped homegirl fresh out the grease.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
Where
did.
I think it was a left hook, and Napoleon caught that. She was like, "Okay, wait a minute now, I'm on my heels."
Yeah.
Okay, and dropped her. So
Yeah.
and she just she's there right in front. So I want to see. I want to see, right
Yeah.
after Franchon throw the kitchen sink,
Yeah.
right? All the knives and forks and spoons and everything in the kitchen.
Yeah.
What's she going? How what will she have now for Ellen after all of that? Because then it becomes now, what else can you pull out of what else can you pull out this kitchen? What else can you make with this fight?
Maybe,
And
maybe,
and
maybe
and
she'll
so
come up
that
with maybe she'll
is.
come up with something new. Maybe she'll show us a new thing she can throw.
Well, you're gonna have to fight that, and that's the beauty of fighting. You
Yeah.
find
You
that
find
you find out what you got,
yeah.
right? And the same thing with Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Like I said, one's a track star, and one's a
Yeah.
and one's a fighter,
No,
and so
definitely.
Katie Taylor, I noticed, Katie Taylor, they're promoting it, and they're showing, when Katie does stand there, she'll run her shots and then she'll go.
Yeah.
I don't think and then Amanda Serrano, Amanda wants to fight. She has the IQ. Her
Yeah.
sister um is a great fighter, Cynthia
Yeah.
Cindy Serrano.
See, yeah, Cindy's
So yeah. So she has that type of pedigree.
yeah.
With this fight, it is the main event for this.
Yeah.
Um
It's a big one.
and
It's a
it is a Eddie Hearn
yeah.
promotion, and you know
Along with our friend Jake, well, not really our friend. It's a Jake Paul, Eddie Hearn collaboration. You know what? As much as people hate him, he got the fight to happen, and that's what everybody wanted to see.
Okay, so listen, I'm gonna say this, right? Because
Say it up,
as
please. Say it
much
up.
as people dislike Box Rec's the truth, okay? And Box Rec say that this is a Eddie Hearn promotion.
Yeah.
So, if Jake paid for his girl to get on this card,
Who knows?
then
Who knows? Who
that's
knows the details?
co-promotion. right?
If yes, I know
Right?
they did work. They
And
did work
that's what
together.
happened.
Yeah,
That's what happened. This is what happens, right? This is what happens in the promotion game. Okay. Eddie Hearn decides to put some money in his girl's pocket, Katie Taylor.
yeah.
Okay, he rented out Madison Square Garden because
I
he got
know.
the dough to do that
He definitely
as
does
the
have the dough to do
venue.
it.
Okay, he
Definitely.
put her as the main event, and Jake said, "You know what? I'm gonna pay for my girl to get on this with your girl." And
Yeah.
now it's mega.
Yeah.
Now it's a mega fight because
And
I
then
certainly didn't
and then,
ask
and then we're
for
gonna
it.
then we're gonna sprinkle another undisputed match on that card as well.
Okay, so
Big,
now
big.
listen, we want let's call a thing tonight,
Yeah.
Mike, me and
Yeah.
you.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's do it.
because I didn't ask for this one,
No.
right? And I don't think, I mean, Katie Taylor is a good fighter, and the thing about Katie Taylor is she has such a following now that
Yeah.
any fight that she fights is mega.
Yeah.
Okay, she's a name, all right, but ain't nobody asked for her to fight Amanda Serrano,
No.
right? That's really what it was about.
The fans
Amanda
wanted it.
Serrano,
The fans
huh?
wanted it. Fans wanted it. That's what they wanted.
Um, I I haven't ran into two people. It got to be two people, and it's two people online right now, and I know I didn't ask for it, so I don't know, Mike. And I mean, it. Let's do it. Let's talk about. Let's be real tonight, okay? So
It's getting underway, man. It's gonna happen tomorrow. But
right, so it's gonna happen, but we want to let's call a thing, right? I don't want us to have a show tonight that's going to be a pandering type of show because everybody panders online here, right?
yeah.
Everybody wants to be somebody's friend. I've been through the ringer. I don't know about you, Mike, right? I think you just cute enough. You don't need to do nothing else
You're making me
to
get
make
even
no
more red.
friends. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so I don't think you need to be friends with nobody. You don't need to be extra nice to nobody. So let's talk it. And Sugar done been through it, right? And Sugar don't care like if either you like Sugar or you don't.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So
You either do or you don't.
so with this matchup here, it's a great match. I
Yeah.
take nothing from it. It's a great match, but it's not to me. It ain't a mega match because yeah, Serrano has fans as any other fighter may have fans,
Yeah.
but the first to do Madison Square, this ain't a Ali Frazier type of deal. Yeah. Oh, this ain't, this is not, they're not, that was the allure in all of the other historical
Yeah.
fighter Madison Square, because fights always happen at Madison Square Garden.
Always. Always.
You know what I'm saying? But this
I believe
let's let
this is the
this
first time it's a woman head, like a women's match
yeah,
headline.
because somebody's promoter had the money to pay
Get
for
it
it,
done. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So this is the thing about women's boxing that I want to dispel. Okay, belts ain't belts. Belts don't mean that you're the best. Belts don't mean that you're a champion. Belts mean that you had the money to pay for
Belts
them.
hold up. Belts hold up pants.
Belts hold up. And I don't really wear pants.
All
So
right.
it
All right.
ain't never mattered to me,
Right.
right, as a
Right.
fighter. Because
Exactly.
I whooped ass either way. And those who had the belts ran from me.
Yeah.
Right. So what I want to say is, and now this is Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Some great fights have happened in some hole in the walls. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's just that now we have to, as me and you, as the people with the ears to the ground, me, that we talk in this talk, we
Yeah.
really just have to know what's out there. Now, to me, I low key now, let's we're talking about this card, this woman card. There is room for Franchon to steal the show on
Yeah.
this card
Yeah.
because between Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, guess what we already know about this fight?
What
Ain't
what do
nobody
you
gonna
already
get
know?
knocked out.
No. No. It's going the distance.
It's gonna go, yeah,
It's gonna go
right.
the distance.
No one's going to drop.
No.
No one's going to get hurt. No one's going, because they were never fight. No, both of those fighters have not exhibited that in
Right.
their fights, and that's what mega means. Mega means that somebody going to drop and get up, or somebody going to drop and stay down.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a mega. Now, right? Nobody's. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody excited about a point match, a
No.
mega point match.
No,
okay?
man. Mega matches need to end in knockouts. That's the way it should work.
A mega match need to have some hurting.
Yeah, like I want to see blood.
We talking fights.
I want to see mouth guards in the front row. I want to see them getting punched out. I want to see guys dropping. I want to see them fall like trees.
Listen, I'm a female, but I'm a girl, but still, there's nothing more appealing than to see legs up in the air.
Yeah. Love it. Maybe somebody falling through the ropes or something.
Legs fly up.
I want to know he's sleeping before he touches the mat. That's what it is.
Or I want to see some hurting going on. This is fighting.
Yeah.
Right. So, but now, Franchon, with this, she could steal the show by performing.
Yeah.
Right. She can really, go in there and get real freaky with Ellen. It is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And but we talk. Yeah, we talk about the girls, but you know what? The guy fight, Jesse Vargas versus Liam Smith.
Yeah,
that's pretty. That fight is pretty interesting.
I'm loving that one. I'm loving that.
What do you think about those two fighters?
Honestly, I like them both. Big fans of Liam Smith. He's coming off that brilliant fight back against Anthony Fowler. The TKO in the 8th. He did lose to Magomed Kurbanov before that. Back was it? Let's say it was May of 2021.
Okay.
I think it was around the first week or so. And then he's one of these guys that performs, man. And I just like watching him. He gets in there. He's a grinder, and he gets it done. But then you have you have our man Vargas, right? Vargas is also. This kid can box, man. Jesse Vargas, he's 29-3-2 with 11 KOs, and he's returning to the ring for the first time since his narrow reversal at the hands of Mickey Garcia in Texas in February.
Wait, did you see that one?
Yeah, man. Did you check it out?
Come on now.
Yeah.
That one kind of stood out because I like Mikey Garcia. I actually like him. This fight, Jesse Vargas, this matchup is interesting, and I'll tell you why. Right, so we have two bangers.
Yeah.
Jesse Vargas is a banger, and Liam Smith is sure enough a banger. He don't want to do nothing but put that front foot down.
Yeah. Plant that foot and throw them punches
and throw. Okay. Yeah. And so I was looking. Some of I first looked at Jesse Vargas. Why? Because he fought my guy. I like Mikey Garcia. Okay, so he fought Mikey Garcia, and Mikey got into that behind. Now, like he knocked him down and really broke it, right? He also Jesse Vargas has fought some notable guys. Pacquiao. He fought Pacquiao, and he fought Timothy Bradley, which I mentioned these two too because it seems like I love to mention styles make fights, right? So these guys, the style of these guys, it looks like Jesse Vargas fights a lot of juggernauts. So Pacquiao's a juggernaut. Yeah. Bradley's a juggernaut. Garcia's a juggernaut. meaning, these guys, they're rough and tumble. They standing in front of you and they're giving and taking.
Right.
Okay. And Jesse Vargas, he seems to be a banger slash boxer, right? If you
Right.
make him have to box, he will.
Yeah.
But he has that right hand. He has a good right hand. He's tough.
Yeah.
I love how he's a fearless fighter, because
Oh,
he stood in front of these guys and never took a step back. The only time he was stepping back was when goodness, Mikey Garcia hurt him. And
yeah.
then you saw, but he's determined.
Yeah.
He's standing there, and I love that. You watching a fight where whether the person is winning or losing, they're determined. They're
Yeah.
there. They're
That's
with
hard.
it.
That's hard,
Yeah,
man. That's
that
hard.
right. That's I
You
love
can't,
that.
you
Is
can't, and you can't teach that. You
you
can't
and
teach that,
and
man.
those are the things that are worth the money.
Yeah.
That's worth the ticket money,
Yeah.
right? Because you can't teach these things.
No.
It's heart. It's perseverance. And that's what I watch fights for. That's what I appreciate about these fights. But the same thing with Liam Smith. Okay, so Liam,
Yeah.
you know,
Liam's 3 losses are to Magomed Kurbanov, Jamie Munguia, and Alvarez. So those are his only losses.
now
With Alvarez, he went 9 for 12 before he got knocked out. Against Jamie Munguia, he went the whole way and lost in unanimous decision. Same with when he fought Magomed Kurbanov. He went unanimous decision, loss. So, he's only been put down a few times in his career, man. His 3 losses, he's only been knocked out once, man.
mm,
Liam Smith is a banger.
so
33,
like I said,
yeah,
yeah. So Liam
33 years
Smith,
old. He knows the game at this point.
and he's been around for a while. Him and his brothers, I think it's a boxing family. They call him Beefy. So
Yeah,
Little Beefy, I like
BB. I like it too.
that.
I do like it too.
And so he is the modern day Rocky, I think.
Okay.
He
Okay.
is, because Liam, he's big for he's big for
He's
he has a big stature for that weight class,
you know
right?
what? Yeah, super welter. He weighed in. He weighed in at 153 for this fight. He's 5'9.5". He's got he's a broad guy. He's a broad guy.
Mm-hmm.
5'9.5".
Yeah.
He does look. He's somewhat bigger than some of the guys.
He's solid,
Yeah,
right? Because some of these guys, and he ain't going nowhere because he got those strong legs that he stands on.
yeah,
Okay, and then he got, like you said, broad shoulders and back, and he
yeah,
holds that guard real tight and sturdy. So it's
yeah,
like, how are you going? He's a wall. He's a tank walking at you, right? And you got to now, you have a certain amount of rounds to find the weakness in that tank coming to you, or to make a weak spot. But he's conditioned well, and he's durable, like
oh,
you
definitely,
said. After a while, down in deep water, round 9 or something, as the fight goes on, as fatigue sets in and frustration and all of those things, you may see an opening. And then if you're a smart fighter, if you are a fighter that's ready, you can
yeah.
capitalize on that against Liam.
And
I
he definitely has the ability to do the same himself. When you watch him fight, man, he can bang him out in the later rounds too. It's just whether or not. I think this fight is going to be all about who's got the gas tank.
I think in this fight, it's really because between the two, but I want to say that there was a baddie out there that he rivaled with, Liam Williams. Are you familiar with Liam Williams?
Yes,
All right, so Liam Williams, I have to say that
he
this
fought
is a
he
no.
fought Liam Williams back to back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did it. It was so good. They had to come back and do it
I
again.
know. The first one was back 2017. I believe it was March. No, yeah, I think it was March the 8th. I think it was, and Smith was cut on the right eyebrow in the third round. He scaled in at 11 stones, 1 pound, 15 ounces, and then 11 stones, 1 pound, 10 ounces after stripping naked. And such could
You
not
see
win.
what I'm saying? Big
So he,
dude.
So he couldn't win the title, and then Williams was deemed in no position to continue after suffering a double laceration to the right eyelid. So then what happens? They were like months later, they're back in the ring
They're
again,
back at it again,
and
right?
and and
Because
yeah,
right, it's a good fight. it,
yeah,
it was really good. And so honorable mention to that cat, because he was a contender, right?
yeah,
So and he, he busted old dude up. So
yeah. That's right.
you gotta commend it. It's a fight, right?
Yeah,
So
man, that's what we're here for. We're
these
here
are,
to see
yeah,
people
these
get
are things.
busted up.
It ain't about, to me, the judges and it ain't about the judges or the ref. It's about the two people going at it. It's about those two. It's about the will. It's
Yeah,
about, what happened, this encounter between you and that other person. That's the story. And
yeah,
everybody's just, we're just witnesses to that encounter.
yes,
So, there's some people who have different opinions of that encounter, the judges and the ref. So I had to honorably mention that guy because it was a good fight. Liam Williams is a good contender coming up.
yeah,
And so now, Smith, right? So,
yeah,
and then I think I remember Smith even fighting Canelo. Did you
yeah,
see that one? Smith
yes.
versus Canelo.
And that one was that one went distance, man.
No, he got
Yeah,
stopped with a
yeah,
body
in the
shot.
ninth, in the ninth. That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
something
It
like
did,
that. Yeah.
it did go late though. It did go late into the
It
round.
went down into deep water,
Yeah,
right?
and and Alvarez definitely is one of those guys that he could easily do a 15.
Well,
He could easily do a 15.
Did you hear what Nacho just said about him a
No,
couple
no.
days ago?
What happened? Let's hear it.
Nacho said something to the effect of, Canelo not being a standout type of fighter
Ooh,
because of, the fact that, and yeah, I, I'm gonna have to agree. Nacho said it. So if Nacho said it, you know what I'm saying?
right, right.
Nacho, Nacho's been around. Nacho was Canelo's trainer, but Canelo is like the remix of everybody.
Yeah,
Canelo, there's no Canelo has the ability and has the talent and everything to be an authentic fighter,
yeah,
but he remixes so much of other people's styles that he doesn't stand out, because when you see him, it's like, oh, I've already seen this, and you're
yeah. It's the
doing
same,
it
yeah,
just like the other.
same thing over and over. It's always the same
Yeah.
thing.
So,
And you know what? The best part is we finally get to see him get against Bivol next. I believe it's next weekend, May the
well,
7th.
let's see. Let's hope, something. Let's hope he changes the record a little bit, and he gives us something else, because when Nacho said it, when you kind of flip through, what's being going on out here,
Yeah,
and when
definitely.
I was like, oh, okay, I I thought it, but Nacho said it, so
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Yeah.
but like, with this match, Jesse Vargas versus Liam Smith, none of them are really explosive, so we're gonna have to look for the magic to happen down in
Yeah.
deep water.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
that's what you're looking for this
Yeah,
one.
right.
This is going to be
There's
deep.
no real finesse. There ain't nobody going finesse. They coming in there and they going to bang each other out.
Yeah.
And each one is promising the other that I'm gonna knock
They're going
you
to end
out.
it.
I think.
They're promising they're ending the careers of each other. Like,
Oh my
like
God.
these guys are going in there
You
to
see
do
what I'm
battle.
saying? So yeah, there like some feelings
Yeah,
involved now.
there's stuff going on.
I
But
like that.
I don't want to take away from another big fight that's going on this weekend is the uh Stevenson Valdez. Like this is a big one. WBC champ Oscar Valdez, hopes to become a Mexican boxing legend, while WO King Shakur Stevenson is eyeing the mythical pound for pound rankings. And Valdez, who's
Ah,
30-0.
so-
No, Valdez is 30-0 with 23 knockouts. He's the fighting pride of Nogales, Mexico, is closing in on an undefeated decade.
and then we got,
Pro.
and then who we got? What's
And then
Shakur?
And then we got Stevenson. He's 17-0 and 9 with 9 KOs. He's the pound for pound talent from Newark. He won the vacant WBO feather world title against Joe Gonzalez in 2019. Valdez vacated the title to campaign at junior lightweight. Stevenson moved up in weight after dominating Gonzalez, winning 3 fights before challenging for the WBO junior lightweight world champion against Herring last October in Atlanta. And Stevenson stopped Herring in the 10th round to become the 2-weight world champ.
Wow.
And as a toast to the U.S. amateur boxing scene, Stevenson was pegged for superstardom ever since making his pro debut back in April of 2017. Throughout 17 pro bouts now, he's flashed a defense riddle that has thus far been impossible for opponents to solve. And in this battle of youth versus hardened experience, as Valdez won his first world title in July of 2016, 4 weeks before Stevenson earned a silver medal at the Rio Olympics. So this is a big one. I'm super excited to see this card. It's for the 2 titles, man, the WBC World Super Feather and the WBO World Super Feather. And, the undercard, I am really, really stoked about this undercard. I have profiled a bunch of these guys on here. We got Andreas Cortez, who's taken on Alexis Bosk. We got Raymond Murtella, who's taken on Jeremy Hill. Keyshawn Davis is up back in against Esteban Sanchez in this one. Troy Isley is taking on Anthony Hanna. You got Nico Ali Walsh back in the ring against Alejandro Ibarra. And then you got Abdullah Mason, who's taking on Luciano Ramos. And Anton Cobb is taking on Jalen Phillips. This undercard is all these up and coming prospects.
Up and coming,
undefeated, young and hungry, and some are undiscovered. And that's why I profiled them on my show at 4 o'clock. And I profiled every single one of these guys throughout the beginning of my show. And honestly, you guys want to see a great card, you're definitely going to want to tune in and watch this one for sure. This card is big, and I don't want everybody to have the hype of the Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano card taken away from this one too, because this is a big card.
Regarding we're going to talk about Shakur.
Yeah,
Shakur,
I like
I
him.
think they're bringing him in. They're trying to make him the Millennium Sugar Ray Leonard, and
they're trying to make him the new face.
Yeah,
right.
And he did do well in the Olympics, and I see a lot of similarities in how they're moving him. With old Sugar. So I do think this kid. I think he does have a bright future.
Definitely.
In boxing. This matchup with him at 17-0 versus I'm sorry, can you repeat this fighter's name? Repeat.
Sorry, Shakur Stevenson and
versus
sorry. Yeah, Shakur Stevenson and Valdez.
Right. Yes. So Valdez. So now at that 17-0, as they move a fighter and a fighter like this, that you're seeing the progression of this is how they generally move who they're trying to make a superstar, right? Yep. So when Sugar Ray was 17-0, I believe he fought my coach Johnny Gant, who was a top contender in the weight class. So at that 17-0 mark, and then he went after that and fought Benitez out of Puerto Rico, right? So they're moving Shakur, but to me, I think I'm just looking for a bit. I'm looking for more from him, because like I said, after a story has been read or told so many times, right? And you change the character and the story, there needs to be more to the story. right? There needs to be more to the story. Well, as a fighter, I don't. He's a darling, he did well at the Olympics and did all of that,
Mhm.
but it is entertainment as well, right? And
Yeah,
so until he's not standing as much as it looks good on paper as a fighter, I need more for him to stand out.
right.
Oh,
Well, you know
everybody
what?
wins now.
Oscar Valdez, he had that standout finish against Miguel Berchelet.
Mm,
That was up for knockout of the year. That one, that was a big one. That was
yeah.
definitely a big one. Oscar Valdez, he's 31. He's no joke. The kid's 5'5.5". He's got a 66-inch reach. And he's sitting in a cool 130. When he took on Berchelet, that was a good one, man. That was a great KO.
Okay. So
That was
this guy's got some
Yeah,
got
so
some
out of his 30
fire.
and 0, out of his 30 and 0, he's finished 23 opponents, put him to sleep.
Mm,
So 23 KOs. And that one that Berchelet, when he fought him, that was a huge one. That was definitely a huge one.
okay. So this is the thing about these O's, right? Um I I want to raise this point now. In the game of boxing,
Yeah.
even though boxing is not a game,
No.
um the it's more now. Before it was about because many we didn't have technology, and we didn't have as many ways to do research back in the day.
Oh, you mean when
You
you had to go out and buy the magazine to learn who fought who because it wasn't
Oh my
digitized?
gosh. Or right, or
Or, or, or,
or
or borrow the VHS tape off your friend to see the fight that he taped. Like, yeah, I remember that. That was the old way to do this. That was the old way to do all
now,
this.
now what a time to be a fighter. What a
Right?
time to do
Right?
this, right? And so I said that to say this. Now it's more so like the matchmakers and the people behind the scenes now are the ones who are playing the game harder, right? Because yeah, like I mean, I've mentioned this in another show, in my own show. Now a 30 and 0 has to be looked at,
Yeah.
because these people are carefully putting bodies in front of their prospects,
Yeah.
right? So that 30 and 0, I have not looked at that, this fighter's opposition. It's just like he's apparently he's getting them out there. But
Yeah.
these third this type of opposition, what is the quality of opposition? I
Well,
know it
see,
went 30 killers.
Mexico's got a ton of boxers, as we know. I believe there's something like 3,400 registered pro
Hmm.
boxers, both male and female, that come out of Mexico. So when I see these high numbers on these Mexican fighters, it's it's because that's what they do. That's it. All they do is fight. They eat, breathe, sleep, and fight, and that's
Yeah,
it.
I know about Mexico.
Yeah. So so do I, but not in that way. Yeah. But so when you see these guys with
Yeah.
these huge numbers, it's just because they're staying busy. And
So I do understand. I do understand what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah,
the fight down in Mexico. I mean, people are fighting sometimes unsanctioned 2 times in a weekend.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when they're putting together prospects,
yeah,
you will have somebody, just because somebody have been around the block a couple times. Yeah, they know enough to be a problem to somebody who hasn't.
right,
But those is he a killer? Is he knocking out killers, right?
right.
Why would they put Shakur, who's had half as many fights, with this fighter who has knocked out so many fighters? So you have to think about that.
Exactly. Valdez has knocked out, man. 23 people.
That's what I'm
So,
saying.
and
So
and
are these
the one off
23 Shakurs or are these
no,
23
they're
people
not they're
that
not 23 Shakurs, and this is the reason why these guys are both fighting
you
is
see
because
what I'm saying? But
honestly,
Shakur
yeah,
ain't the only Shakur out there.
no,
You know
true,
what I'm saying?
true,
So, that's why I when records don't phase me, right? Because I know the game enough to know that okay, uh he might have a couple 4-40 fighters on there, and I call them we call them 4-40, meaning there are fighters out there that may have 4 wins 40 losses, 6 wins 20 losses, things
yeah.
like that. And they have the amount of fights, but their ratio is they're on the losing end,
The
right?
journeyman of the game,
They more than journeyed,
gatekeepers.
they more than the gatekeeper. Right, you listen, if would you hire somebody to keep your gate then that lost 60 and only won 4? You can't keep my gate,
No,
sorry.
no, no,
You ain't keeping my gate.
no.
You
I'm
can't
using
keep
that
your
guy. I'm
gate.
using that guy to test my. I'm using that guy to test my new guys to see where they are.
And I'll just say this, after a fighter has lost a couple times,
Yeah,
losing becomes so easy to
losing
them.
becomes learning. As long as you're learning from your losses, then losses don't really matter.
Right, but in boxing,
Yeah,
right, you get opponents, and I want to explain this to the viewer, to people that's in on this conversation, that when there are calibers of fighters, right, there are
yeah,
different calibers of opposition, right? You have the opposition that they've lost, but either they've had some messed up decisions, or they're dangerous,
yeah,
right? Then you have the ones below that they have lost because they can be a problem if you are not at a certain level, right?
right,
They are the gatekeepers, because if you are not at a certain level, they will give you a problem and you can't get past them.
right.
Then you have those below them, right, who are journeymen
Mm-hmm.
and journey women, meaning that they've been around this, they know it, and if you know what you're doing, uh, they'll take you through the fight.
Yeah,
You'll be able to win against them. If you ain't got what it takes, then they'll beat you. They'll mess
yeah.
around and beat you, or it'll be close. Then you got those on the bottom rung,
The tomato
right?
cans.
The tomato cans,
The
right? That
tomato
have
cans.
made a career out of losing, so
Yeah,
much so that their numbers are off. Just like how a winner is a winner and you can see they have more wins than losses, a loser is a loser because
I
they've
did
got
I did a
more
whole weekly
losses
special. I
than
did a
wins.
weekly
Yeah.
special on this. I did a weekly special on the worst
Did
records in
you?
boxing. Yes,
You got to get
yes.
me in on this.
Oh my god,
Okay.
I did it a couple months ago. It's featured on Knuckle Up. To all the fans out there, if you want to
Oh
check it out,
yeah. Yeah, we
go
gotta check
back
that
through the
out.
list, check it out. We're talking some serious records, guys who have over 300 fights with 200 losses, like some big stuff.
Back in when I was coming up, it was really bad, and they were looking to ban people like that. After you get a certain, because boxing, like I always say, boxing ain't patty cake, right?
No,
So you go in there, there are people that are skilled at losing. Now you ain't going, they going to deflect and they going to
yeah,
play the game right to the end of the bell, and they know they're going to lose. And then there's some people who are getting their asses whipped
yeah,
and getting beat up so bad that they need to stop because it's now a detrimental to
yeah.
their health.
Health risk later on in life. It's bad.
Right. And I've seen great fighters that now can't even speak a full sentence.
I know, and this is why Tim Witherspoon is proactive about this whole starting a boxing union to take care of these guys who have paved the way for the young kids of today to do what they do now. So
Yeah, that's been we've and I've been on board with these type of these type of fights too,
yeah, yeah,
right? Because we dedicate we do dedicate our lives to doing this. And
Yeah,
this is a career, and it is an industry, and
yeah,
we do need protection. Fighters
definitely,
do need protection, and
definitely.
fighters do need to be taken care of, you know, at the end of the career, which there's none. You know,
There's
if you're
nothing right.
not smart, if you're not smart during your career, and you know, you set yourself up, a lot of fighters end up, you
Broke.
know, on the real sad end of life.
Yeah,
And no one finds them, or no one talks about those stories,
right.
which I think those stories also need to be told, you know.
Definitely,
But
definitely. 100%.
oh,
Cedric.
Cedric came in. Oh wow, thank you,
Yeah,
Sugar, for joining the panel tonight. Pure knowledge. Thank you, Ceddy.
yeah,
Thank
definitely,
you
definitely.
for appreciating what I have to say about this.
On it,
But
sugar, our show's almost over. So what I want you to do,
okay,
no,
because you
no,
know we
what I
talk.
want you to do,
Oh,
honey,
sorry.
is I know I could talk to you all night too, man. What I want you to do is tell all the viewers where they can find you and your show and what time.
Okay, y'all. So every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., come talk to your sugar about women's boxing, right?
Yeah, man.
And anything you want to know, anything you want to talk about, anything you want to ask about women and women in boxing, women who box, women's
Yes.
boxing.
Definitely a
Um,
very interactive show to all the viewers out
Definitely
there.
love to chat
You
with
drop
y'all
those
about it.
comments and Sugar will answer and talk to you throughout the entire show. And there ain't no time limit, so just keep it coming, man.
Oh goodness, right? Didn't they have me on? They had me on all night the other night.
Yeah, I did. I had you working hard. I had you working hard.
And thanks everyone for chiming in on this one. I really
Yeah,
appreciate the chat. Mike, thanks for having me on the show tonight.
definitely.
I really like
Thank you for
talking
joining
about
me
it.
because I'm pretty sure the viewers didn't want to listen to me rant for an hour by myself, which I have no problem doing because I'm just
Well, so before we leave, who you got? Who you got? For the fight tomorrow, Amanda or Katie?
you know what? Katie's my girl, but I think it's going to be Amanda.
You think so?
Yeah.
I like them both.
I do. I do. It's really hard. It's
But
really
I
hard for me to
think
make that
I
decision,
think
but
Katie is too crafty to lose everything or lose what she got to Amanda.
yeah.
I think I mean, if she didn't let Pursoon take it from her, she ain't gonna let Amanda
No,
take it from
yeah.
her. But
Yeah.
we'll see
We'll
tomorrow.
see.
I love that. Uh-oh, Serrano
And
won't
we'll
stop
stop Taylor.
Taylor.
See, Cedric's on board with me on this one, I think. Yeah,
I
we'll
I
have to
I wanna
see.
I really, you know what? Let's see, because I don't even see, I really don't see where Serrano has done damage to a fighter of Katie Taylor's caliber. Y'all haven't. I mean, y'all need to tell me who she fought. Who did Serrano fight that would lead you to believe that she would dispatch Katie Taylor in that way?
Right.
Right? I mean, because you know that's what we got to do, right?
Exactly.
I, I
Exactly.
I've been in there. Katie Taylor fought Delphine Pursoon.
There we go.
Has Amanda fought anybody the caliber of Delphine Pursoon?
You know what? Yeah.
That's
No.
what I'm talking
That's
about. So
you
I
know.
got Katie in this one off the strength of that.
All right. All right. I love it. I love it. Tell the
All right,
viewers.
you guys.
All the viewers
Have a
tonight
good
that watch
night.
us. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Friday Night Panel with myself and my special guest, Miss Sugar. Don't
Oh,
forget to
thank you.
catch her Wednesday on the Sugar Show, 7:30 sharp. Be there.
Be there.
Yeah, be there. Be there and comment. She will definitely answer all your questions.
I
She
sure
loves
will.
she loves the interaction, man. So guys, join the show. Definitely drop her a line. Thanks for tuning in for this week. Guys, remember to join us Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Knockout of the Week Award to find out who
Ooh.
it's gonna be. There's a lot of big fights this weekend, so there's going to be a lot of knockouts that I got to pick through. So make sure you join me and Cedric at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to find out who we pick as our winner for the knockout of the week. And don't forget to join him on the scorecard at 11 a.m. on Sunday so you can compare scorecards with Cedric to see how you scored.
Ooh.
Definitely. And
Oh, so said he's scoring the ladies too.
I believe he's scoring the ladies. I believe he's scoring the ladies.
All
So
right, I like that.
definitely, definitely.
Okay.
Don't want to miss it. So, to all the Talkin' Fight fans, thanks for tuning in to tonight's episode of the Friday Night Panel. And we will see you next week. Same time, same channel. You know what it is.
Good night.
Peace.